Whereas this investment roadmap idea, we kind of look at it all, the much bigger picture, and then figure it out that way. It reminds me of writing books. I know that you write books too, but when you write a plot of a book, you usually start at the end and then you work backwards. And because of that, you've always got the end in mind and you always keep referring to the end and you know where you're going. So the idea of the investment roadmap for me is like that. It literally is a map. First we do this because we want to do that, then we move to this and we can't do this because of this, and all these things get answered.
Hi everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Seven Stones podcast. We like to cover a broad range of topics, including business, real estate, legal advice, people of Indonesia, and many more. In this episode, we're going to be getting into a topic we mention a lot on our blogs and videos and general conversations we have with all our partners, which is investment roadmaps. What is it? What does it consist of? And all the other questions regarding this subject. We're going to be getting into the details today with some fellow experts with me here in the studio. You've met them briefly in the first couple episodes. Welcome again, Terje and Andy. How are you both today?
Hi. Very good, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. Thank you.
How have you been keeping busy since the last time we spent recording?
Yeah, we're actually very busy. It's surprisingly busy. We're in the middle of COVID-19 and a pandemic, but business is really picking up and a lot of people looking positively forward to better times, yeah.
Sounds good. Exciting stuff.
Some of it is.
Yeah,
actually. Not all of it, but some of it is.
Some of it is, yeah. No, I think it's exciting. I think a lot of people realize that they have to do what we're talking about, roadmaps. And I think there's a lot of investors, both a mixture of new and sort of established investors, that see opportunities in the mess that we're in with this pandemic. But at the end of it, something better will come out of it. I think we see a lot of interest of people who wants to actually move here, establish themselves here. And that also relates back to the topic that we're talking about today.
Which is investment roadmaps. So, most obvious question is, what is it?
I'm going to let you answer that. It actually came out of one of the things that you were driving about a year ago, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it started off like investments in particular in Bali, but also other parts, Lombok, Flores, and so on, has been very notorious to kind of find a piece of land, build a villa, and then start a business without doing any checks. Is it a, properly zoned area? All kinds of aspects that keeps coming back on this. So we started doing some presentations on different investment opportunities, and that kind of dealt with: are you here to retire? Are you here to run a business? Are you here short term? Are you here long term? What's your exit plan, if any, and so on. And in the end, I think we sort of concluded that in towards what we call investment roadmaps. So we believe in helping people to crystallize and clarify what they're really aiming to do, because then the whole aspect of how they want to set themselves up, is it better for them to invest into a local company? Do they set up their own, or do they do an individual investment, type of visas and so on? So all these things connect into what they're actually trying to achieve.
Nice. So basically you'll be addressing some challenges that most business startups face, which is that they have, for example, a property, but they don't know the correct licensing or the permits, and they'd have to go to multiple different companies almost to...
I think one of the best sort of studies or cases or samples we can look into is actually where we are right now, like in Canggu. So if you're at the beach or you come 400 or 500 meters inland, it's zoned as a tourism zone, and then it starts as a residential zone, and parts of it are green belts. But through all of these three different zones, you'll find heaps of restaurants, heaps of villas, and heaps of whatever goes on. And some of those are obviously totally legit and well structured and set up and gone through the process, but others will have problems with the zoning. They're actually in a residential area running a big restaurant. Some of the villas, we know they're built on green belts. They can't do any changes on what they have. They might not even have an IMB, and so on and so on. So it's quite a complex picture. And in the early days, I guess that was fairly straightforward and nobody really cared. But now with the regulations coming more and more, we've gone through the setup of the OSS system, and also omnibus law is going to come. All of that is depending on the right structures, the right permits, and the right zoning for your business.